It is so sad that many leaders are drunk with power and authority when they are in their positions. And when men and women are drunk with power and authority, they do anything without regard to anybody. They don't respect any man, they don't respect any woman. They are drunk with authority and their power, and they do anything only to regret later when they are out of power. Because even those people are in power, there for years, and they have come and left. We had people like Pilate, they've come and they've gone. We've got great prophets who were there in the past, they've come and they have gone. But then, when somebody misuses power when they are in authority, they are going to leave a bad presidency and a wrong and bad legacy to the people they are in. Let me tell you, friends, misuse of authority has been going on all over, not only in this nation, but even in other nations and in the household of God. There was a man by the name of Samson. He was a very, very powerful guy, but he didn't have authority. This man was very strong, and he could pull buildings down. He could kill people using a simple tool like a oxygen. He could burn people's wheat, and he could do anything that he could do. He was so powerful, and God had given him power, and he could do anything. It is said that this man would go out and do anything that he would do. In other words, he was so powerful because the power was in him, and he was so energetic, that is extra energy. And so he decided to apply his extra energy to the people. A time came when a very young girl by the name of Delilah lied to him. He gave the secrets, and finally he died a terrible death. It's just to tell you that even those who are in authority, there comes a time when they must go. There comes a time when they must leave, when they have no option than to leave, and when they are either kicked out or a time comes for them to leave. So like Samson was a very powerful man. He could beat the Philistines. He could burn their wheat. He could beat their men. He could take people's wives, people's girls without even any cause. He was a very powerful guy, but a time came when he had to go. We had people in the Bible times, a man like Pilate. He was one of the most powerful king of the time. A man, during his time, if you went to him, if you were brought to him, you are either to be executed or to be left. In other words, he had power to exonerate you or power to have you executed. And more often than not, the people who were brought to him, they never survived. Many of them were executed. Meantime, this guy had power and authority. The power was in him. He could save, he could kill, he could execute. That's exactly how he was. But then a time had to come when he had to go. Leaders should be sensitive of what they do and what they say, because a leader is very important in an organization. We have had people who misuse power everywhere. In the church, we have seen people make people, men of God, men of their cloth, make people to eat grass. Some make people to drink water. Some water may not be a big issue. Make people to drink raw oil. Tell people to take ash, and do different things. Beat people, step on people's stomachs. These things have happened. We have seen people make people to feed other things. People feed on anything simply in the name of God. This is misuse of authority. When one has been given that power and authority, either by God or through the church or through the institution of worship, they should not be drunk of power. Many of the people, and particularly the church leaders and the normal leaders, they are drunk of power. As much as people are drunk with power in the church, and they tell people to do anything, they can ask them to do anything, and whatever they can ask them to do, what is happening also outside the spheres of the church is that leaders out there drunk of power, they do anything. They think that the lives of people are on their hands. They do not know that the life is given by God, and because life is given by God and it has sanctity, it must be protected. And people who are in positions of leadership, either out there in the world, in the secular, or in the church, or in the places of worship, they have taken the law into their own hands, into the misuse of the men and women who are under them. This is terrible, and it's happening in such a manner that there is a lot of misuse and disuse of the people in those institutions. Bosses feel that their employees are in their disposal, and so because they are answerable to them, they take them like the trash. They take them like nothing. They treat them so badly and so harshly. They can dismiss, they can do whatever they can do. What they ought to know is that a time comes when these things will come to an end. One should not feel that they are the ones who are holding a life of somebody. They must be very careful on what they do and what they say that can affect the lives of people. They sometimes feel that their juniors are at their disposals, which is a very, very wrong notion. They should not feel that nobody should feel as if they are indispensable and so treat others with inhumanity. People should treat others well. What we are seeing even in the church, where the church leaders order people like children, like kids, where in these institutions, even the government institutions, where people treat their juniors like they're trash. And they also don't know, particularly the politicians, they treat them like they're trash without knowing that after a period of time they're also going to retire or be thrown out. They treat people so badly. And the reason of misuse sometimes is because they want to amass more wealth. And so they want to look so furious and so tough so that nobody questions them of the things that they do. That's not what God wants us to do. God did not create leaders to misuse the authority that they have. That's what Paul tells us in the book of Ephesians, that leaders, that is bosses, that is the people in authority, treat your people with dignity. He also goes on saying that parents, treat your children with dignity. Do not be so harsh to children. Do not be so bad to your children. Be kind to your children and do them good. Listen to them. Listen to their opinions. Let them know that they are loved. Do not treat them like trash. Don't treat them like they are foreigners. Treat them like your children with love. Get them closer to you. Let them feel your warmth. Embrace them. Let them know that this is a parent, or this is a relative, or a foster father, or a foster mother. Do not treat them like trash. Don't treat them harshly. You are planting a wrong seed into children. By doing so, you are misusing the authority of being a father or of being a mother. You are treating them like nothing, as if they are not children. It is good for you to know that you have been given that responsibility to take care of them, and so treat them well. Don't treat them like trash. No, treat them well. People in organizations, treat people well. Talk to them nicely. Don't use a harsh tone to them. Yes, God did not create leaders to misuse the authority where they are. He created them to use authority that he has given them well. And they knew that you were going to be a leader. And you are going to be a leader, but not as such. There is one who was given power and authority by the name of Saul. Saul thought that he was so powerful because he was so huge and tall and powerful. And he would misuse his power anytime until he wanted even to kill the people. He would kill people around and he wanted to kill one called David. I mean, a time came when he was rejected and God said that I regret that I ever brought Saul into power because of the things that he was doing. Let me tell you, friends, so far, those in authority are temporarily, because one day they will leave. Those in authority, a time will come when they will also leave. If you are in authority today, I want to warn you and tell you that your time to depart is not far from today. Soon, the weeks are running down, the months, and even the years. You will have to get out. You do not have to be so tyrannical and so harsh and misuse people the way you think they ought to. Do not misuse people like trash. Apply justice. Everybody have rights, and if they have rights, don't just use your power because you are in power to beat them, to knock them down. Let us humble ourselves before the Lord, not to misuse our powers. I don't know what position you are holding. I don't know where you hold a certain position in that organization or in that place of worship. I don't know. But see the areas where you have been very unfair to people. You have been very unfair to the society. You have been given a mandate to govern a small area, but you have become so bad. Corruption and misuse and everything. That's not what God wants us to be. Yes, no one on earth is permanent. And a time will come when all of us will go. All of us will go. No one is going to live forever. We are not going to be here on earth forever. Nobody. That's what I should remind the leaders. It doesn't matter how powerful you are. It doesn't matter whether you are the bishop or archbishop. It doesn't matter whether you are the pastor of the church. It doesn't matter the titles you call yourself. Whichever titles you name yourself or you call yourself to. It doesn't matter whether you are the professor or the doctor or whatever. It doesn't matter. But if you are misusing the authority that is in you, by misusing the people under your department, under your influence, under your rulership, under that kingdom, under your province, you are misusing them. Misusing that authority. Let me tell you, you are not going nowhere. I want just to tell you that indeed, power comes for a very short time. That authority you have is for a very short time. Soon, it doesn't matter whether you are an investor, it will come down. You will not be there. Even where you have invested, the things you have invested, you may leave them the way they are because of the misuse of power and authority. One should not just brag that they are big managers or even directors in organizations. They are on transit. It doesn't matter whether you are a big manager or a big director or a powerful director in a powerful organization where you feel that you are indispensable and you can do anything. Remember, in this world, a man came or a human being came naked, and naked shall they go. They will never go with anything. They came absolutely with nothing. It is even better. When you are going to go, when people are going to go, they will live with nothing. In fact, most probably, a few pieces of wood are the ones you'll go with, nothing more. You will never go with anything. You will never go with money. You will never go with gold. You will never go with anything. The only thing which is likely to escort you as your friend is most probably a few joint pieces of wood which you'll go with, which will also get rotten within a very short time. All the things that people get ash unto and misuse others, misusing their powers and authority, it's all vanity. As the word says that there is everything, there is time for everything on earth. There is a time to be born and a time to die. There is a time to build and a time to dismantle. There is a time to plant and a time to uproot or even to harvest. There is a time to bring together and a time to scatter. There is time for everything. Then there is also time for you to come into leadership and to be in leadership, and a time to go out. All that which you people are bragging about, that I am senior, I'm senior, I am very, very, very important person. It's all vanity. We are all human beings. By the way, your blood and the blood of the people that you are misusing and mistreating is just the same red blood. There is no one with the black blood or with the white blood. No, it's all the same. And the things in this world will one day come to an end. And therefore, the way managers just brag by misusing their juniors, it doesn't make any sense. You're only doing nothing, because we are all the same. That's also why I should say that even in the areas of education, I see occasionally those who are in the upper areas, they mistreat the others. Headmasters, headmistresses, they mistreat parents like trash. I one day went to see my son in a particular school, and I was surprised to see the way the head teacher, that's the headmaster, talked to me. He talked to me in a very harsh manner, and there was nothing wrong with that. He was on asking for the school fees, which I had paid the whole year, and he thought I was paying termly, and I'd paid the whole year, and he didn't know that I'd paid the whole year, and so he thought my son had not paid school fees. So when I went there, he talked to me in a very bad manner, telling me that, you know what, we have no chance here for educating your son for free, and I had paid, actually I'd done them a favor by paying the whole year. By the way he was talking, only to repent later that he had talked to me very harshly. What I'm saying is that use a good language, mold your language, talk to people well, use a nice language to people. You're in leadership. Don't just brag around that you're a leader. Don't misuse that power and authority. Use a good language. Yes, managers, the way they talk to their juniors, that's a lot to be desired. The way civil leaders talk to their people in their spheres of influence is completely pathetic. They talk to them like they're little things. Let us respect people the way they ought to. Let us respect the age. Let's respect what they do. Respect the work they do. Respect the position they hold. Not moving them around. Oh no. We have to change. There has to be a change. The way I see police people, or those who are in the security, the way they handle people out there is a mystery. They handle people like trash, even when they've done nothing. They simply because they wanted most probably a bribe. They handle them in a bad manner. I mean, you're in authority. You're maybe a security officer, and maybe a policeman of that, or a policewoman. Why should you handle people in such a manner? You just handle them like they're nothing. When you are power, you feel like you're everything. Like, I can do you anything. I can do anything to you. It doesn't make sense for you to misuse that power and authority. Handle people well. Remember, even if you are one of the most powerful police officer, police woman, a time will come when you will have to retire. And when you retire, that's when the things that you did will come to you. The consequences of the things that you did to people will start haunting you. And no wonder, even some of the children from some such like persons, they don't do well simply because of the bad mouthing of the people out of the things that these people did to them. Because they've been so bad. You hit people to people, you vindicate them for what they have not yet done, you create stories and vindicate them. What I'm saying is that there is need for us, there is need for us to use power properly and authority. Don't misuse your power. The way the rich people handle their juniors, oh my. It is really terrible. The rich people should learn how to handle their juniors well. The way they should handle the people well. They should not just handle them simply because they have money. Money is nothing. I need to tell you tonight, and I know nobody may tell you this, that money is only a media of exchange. Once the life comes to an end, that money will be nothing. We have had people who are so rich and so wealthy. They could buy anything. They felt like they could even buy the world. But even if you buy the world, Jesus asked the disciples, what will you gain even if you have the whole world and lose your soul? The rich people, why handle your people? Why handle your electorate? Why handle your people with such a manner? It's something that we need to do. We need to change. Yes, rich people, do not handle your juniors in such a manner. Handle them well. Don't handle them like babies. Yes, even babies should not be handled like that. Misuse of power and authority is now like everywhere. And misuse of power and authority, it's in itself demonic. The misuse of power and authority in whichever level is demonic. It is only the satanic and the demons who misuse power by doing what they do. You, as an individual, learn not to misuse power. Are you in the household of God? Do not misuse power. You are even, maybe you have very little power. Maybe an usher or a pastor or an apostle or a bishop or an archbishop. It doesn't matter which position you are, or maybe a prophet. Don't or apostle, whichever position. The things that you do and the way you mishandle people, they will turn to you, because people will be complaining about you and say, this is mine, I'm the one who did this, I'm the one who started this one, and then you step on people's heads. You get people to eat grass, get people to lick ice, get people to lick even ash, get people to buy your handkerchiefs, get people to eat the threads from the handkerchiefs, get people pass through the smoke that you are blessing them. No, that is nothing like purification. That just misuse of power. Even men, even the construction farms, where they literally beat people, where they literally misuse and scold people. That's not what God made you to be. Let us not misuse power and authority as we serve. We need to know that God is the owner of power and authority. And if one day we are going to go to heaven, and it doesn't matter which place you are, which region you come from, which tribe you come from. I have seen in areas which is headed by people from India, where people literally beat their juniors because of their skin. That is racial discrimination. As well as they do very well, but they decide to beat them. It is wrong to use your skin to mistreat the other people simply because they are black, or because they are yellow, or because they are of a different, or even an agenda. I even want to say, it does not matter whether people are transgender or whichever what they are, wherever they come from, so long as they are human beings. It doesn't matter whether they are cripples. It doesn't matter whether they are one-eyed or one-eared. It doesn't matter whether they are one-legged. People should be treated with authority and dignity, not to misuse power upon anybody. It doesn't matter whether they are students or they are pupils. It doesn't matter whether you are in that place. One day know that you will live there. Maybe the people you are mistreating at some time or in future, they will take those positions. We will continue with that subject. May the Lord God bless you. If you have anything to talk to us, the numbers are on your screen. You can talk to us. You can write to us. If you are in your social media, you can write in the Facebook, that is Gibo TV Kenya. Or if you are watching from your TV home, Gibo TV. If you are on your YouTube, still get your Gibo TV Kenya, and in Instagram, still Gibo TV, and you'll be able to get all that information. I also want to give you authority. Please, if you can be able to share this particular piece of information, it can be educative, so that we can reduce chances of misuse of leaders in their areas of organization. And it doesn't matter whether they are paying or not paying. It doesn't matter how many millions or billions that one is getting. People should not misuse authority in their places of work. Let's meet another time for another program.